In recent months, the Mexican coffee market has faced a dramatic shift. Within just 2 months, price differentials for Otros Suave's coffee plummeted by 32 points, turning from positive premiums to harsh penalties. This abrupt drop has sent shockwaves through the industry, raising urgent questions about the underlying causes. Was this a result of overproduction, or is there something deeper at play? As we begin our forensic analysis, we'll uncover how irregular imports and regulatory loopholes have played a pivotal role. Understanding the sequence of events is crucial to grasp the full impact on producers and the reputation of Mexican coffee worldwide. Digging deeper, we find that the collapse wasn't due to a bumper harvest. Instead, the market was artificially saturated by blending imported Robusta beans from Vietnam and Brazil with domestic Arabica. This practice, enabled by a permissive regulatory framework, distorted the true value of Mexican coffee. The Secretary of Economy's relaxed stance and violations of TMEC origin rules allowed this influx, undermining the integrity of the export channel. As a result, cheap Robusta flooded the market, dragging down prices and eroding the premium status of Mexican coffee. The evidence points to a deliberate manipulation rather than natural market forces. Critical facilitator in this scenario is the regulatory loophole that explicitly allows the re-export of imported green coffee as if it were of Mexican origin. This clause, embedded in the new coffee law, makes it nearly impossible to trace the true origin of exported beans. The numbers don't add up. Export volumes labeled as Mexican far exceed the country's actual production capacity, making it mathematically impossible for all exports to be genuinely local. These practices not only violate TMEC's 80% national content requirement but also damage Mexico's credibility in international markets. The result is a loss of trust and a tarnished brand image. Investigation reveals that certain corporations, notably Nestlé, have benefited from preferential treatment. Reduced taxes and prolonged temporary exceptions have given them an unfair competitive edge, further distorting the market. Meanwhile, small producers face lower prices and shrinking opportunities. This situation has led to accusations of fraud, corruption, and international norm violations. The credibility of the Marca Mexico is at stake as the world questions the authenticity of Mexican coffee. Without urgent intervention, these irregularities could permanently damage the sector and the livelihoods of thousands of producers. Looking ahead, the future of Mexican coffee hangs in the balance. If stricter standards are not enforced and regulatory gaps remain open, authentic Arabica could lose its place in the global market, replaced by lower quality imports disguised as local. The call to action is clear: prohibit deceptive blending, audit regulatory bodies, and ensure compliance with TMEC's national content rules. Only by protecting the true origin can the sector safeguard its reputation and the livelihoods of its producers. The time to act is now, before the damage becomes irreversible.